Morning. My goodness me, what a day we had yesterday. Heading off up to see some machinery, but met this amazing guy, and he sort of took me around the garden, said, "Oh, do you like raspberries?" and said, "Let's pick some and you can take them away if you want to, if you can make some jam." He didn't want to eat them himself. Of course, I ate handfuls of them while I was there. They were unbelievably big. They were so incredibly delicious. So took away what turned out to be 4.5 pounds of raspberries. I'm not sure how much that is in kilos. Oh yes, it's 2 kilos. It's basically 2 kilos of raspberries, which is unbelievable. So put some in the freezer, some fresh in the fridge, but obviously you need to do something with the rest of them. So I am making some jam, and I'll turn the camera around and show you the procedure. And I'm sorry, missed the beginning sections of it because of course it was sort of late at night. I needed to start. Right, so here is the jam, and that's basically equal jam and sugar. I mean fruit and sugar, so that it gets the right amount of pectin to the sugar to make it jam. And I just am slowly bringing it to the boil, and then I'm going to check on a saucer whether it's jammed, and then put it in the jars, and I'll show you how the jars are prepared as well. So here's a set of jars, and of course I've been keeping them from different things on buys, and they've been in my garage, so now I'm just soaking them to get the labels off the remainder ones, and then when they're cleaned off and the glue's off, I will sterilise them with boiling water to fill them with the lovely jam. And I'm not very good at knowing the exact number of jars, so I've probably done too many, but we'll see how many we actually end up with in the end. So the jars are clean and ready, one with the label on. I can take that off later. So basically I put a bit of jam on here, and it's supposed to have jammed, but as in like there's a skin over it, but there isn't really. But I think raspberry jam can be a bit like that for about a year, and then basically it can jam after that. But so I think I'm going to say that that's basically done. And the other thing I wasn't sure about was whether I should squash all the fruit with that. I might do that as well. It seems a bit of a shame when some of the fruit's still there and you might want it on a bit of bread, but I think I probably should. And these are the amazing raspberries that we picked. I mean, look at them. They're just absolutely huge and, you know, bright red, absolutely gorgeous. So those are the ones we'll keep in the fridge to eat the next couple of days. And here's some jam making things that I've got in my drawers. So I might put those things on the jam. I don't have much of the greaseproof paper stuff, but to be fair, usually I just put the lids on. And there's some labels. So maybe I'll show you when I filled them. So here we are. Gosh, that was a pretty good estimate of jars. And there's the pan. That's the sort of special jam making pan, you know, with the handle at the back, so you can actually tip it, and that doesn't get hot, and neither does this handle, so it's really helpful. And this ladle's great because it gets the bits at the bottom. So there was just 1/2 jar here, and I've put the sort of scum from the top in it because actually it's really tasty, so we'll eat that today or whenever. And there was 1 jar left, and I don't mind because that jar's lid was a bit rotten, so I didn't really want to use it. So pretty good estimate. So I'll put the lids on and label them. And that's jars of jam. And obviously I'll give some to Ross, who kindly showed me where the bush in his garden was, which was unbelievable. So I'll take a cutting of that one, or maybe try and grow some actual raspberries from the seeds. I don't know if that's possible. I'll try. Last thing to say is I did just decide to put the lids on. And of course you put the lids on when the jam's still really hot, so that when it cools down, it shrinks and pulls the button down, making it an airtight seal. I could have filled the jars a bit higher, leaving less air in the top, which would maybe help its preservation, but hopefully it'll be fine. Usually even that'll store perfectly well. Yes, that's something for you to know. And the last thing I was going to say, the last thing I was going to say was that the pan did actually have jammed jam on the edge of it, so they will turn to jam, even though it's really runny at the moment. They will definitely turn to jam because the edge of the jam that's left around the side of the pan is nice and well, not solid obviously, but it's jammed. Okay, hope that makes sense.